So you're about to make a decision as to whether or not you're going to buy a house or sell your home. But is that the only decision you're going to make? What comes first? The chicken or the egg? It's the Real Estate Show. Welcome to the Real Estate Show. My name is Rick Naples. I am the owner-broker of Zone Realty LLC. You zone your home in Plainville, Connecticut. You're thinking about putting your home on the market. Or maybe you're thinking, because of whatever situation you may be in, it's time to purchase a home. So, is that the first decision you make? In other words, do you decide it's time to sell, or do you decide it's time to buy? And what different things go into that decision? Well, making the decision to sell or to buy is not necessarily the first decision you need to make. Like I said at the opening of the show, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? And it's a different way of looking at things. It's really important that as a buyer or as a seller, you prepare for that next step. And I've talked many times here over the years on the Real Estate Show on the different steps you can take when you're preparing to look at buying a home or selling a home. Let's talk about buying. You're in a situation that you feel you're ready. It's time to look at possibly owning some real estate, buying a house or maybe a condo. Well, what do you need to do in order to prepare yourself to do that? Well, there's two people that need to come into your life that become very important to help you make that happen. And that, of course, is one, the mortgage officer, and two, a realtor. They both play key parts in helping you make that decision to move forward in buying a home. Let me break it down. The mortgage officer or bank or credit union or whoever you decide to go to is going to help you qualify for a mortgage amount. They're going to take a look at your credit, your income, what your particular situation is, and they're going to give a recommended amount of dollars that they feel you can qualify for a mortgage of. Now, that pretty much puts you in a situation where now you kind of know what it is you're predicted to afford. Doesn't necessarily mean that's the number. It just means that that's basically a good chance for you when it comes to looking at prices of houses. Once you have that number, you can now confidently move forward with the idea of purchasing a home. And that's where the realtor comes in. The realtor has access to every single home that's on the market. And they can basically take you out and show you homes that fit within that financial picture or that amount that the mortgage officer has with you determined. So this allows you to go out and look at homes that are affordable to you in your situation. Now, the realtor's challenge is to find you a home that fits not only that price range, but also what your specific needs are. You may be in need of a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 5-car garage home, but maybe you just don't have the finances to afford that just yet. So the realtor has to look at what's out there on the market and what might fit your particular needs. Or maybe a starter home. Or in some cases, this may be your second or third home. Maybe you've gone through the process before. The mortgage officer works with you to make sure that all of the information and paperwork that's needed is obtained and in place for you to get the mortgage on the home you decide to buy. The realtor helps you through the real estate transaction, the offering process, the inspection process, the appraisal process, and of course, the closing process. But before all that happens, the realtor is also your advice and your guide as far as what home you're looking to purchase and, of course, the negotiation with the seller. Let's talk about the seller. Let's say you're thinking of putting your house on the market. Well, is that the first thing you need to think about? Or is it the second thing? Like I said, chicken or egg. As a seller, you might want to consider what your particular situation is. I mean, are you motivated to sell your house? Do you need to sell your house? Are you just trying to feel out the market as far as putting your house up for sale? There's a lot of commitment that you have to make if you make that decision. And again, it goes back to the preparation that I was talking about. When you're looking to put your home on the market, there are certain steps that you need to take in order to make it successful. One of the things is to contact a realtor. Again, a realtor is going to come out, take a look at your home, is going to give you an idea of where your home would be as far as price is concerned with other homes that are similar in size and features in the area. As far as what that price is that you should be looking to sell your house for. They're also going to give you some great ideas on some of the things that you can do to prepare your home for buyers to see. You know, we make a decision to sell our home, and sometimes it's because of the situation we're in, and we've been living in the home for a while, and we don't see things that a set of fresh eyes that doesn't live there may see. Many times on the real estate show, I've talked to sellers about doing the exercise of coming into their home, and within the first 8 or 9 seconds, where do their eyes land? And they have to realize that that's the first thing a buyer is going to see when they walk into the home. So if you're deciding to put your home on the market and your main entrance is going to be the entranceway that a buyer is going to come in, you want to pay specific attention to what is in that entranceway. You also want to look at your front door because first impressions are big. So look at the front lawn, look at the approach to the house, look at the front door, and so on and so forth. Many little decisions will lead you up to the big decision of putting your home on the market. Maybe you're just not ready. Whether you're a buyer or a seller, you may be waiting to decide, is the market good for me to sell? Will I get the most for my house? As a buyer, is the market good? Can I buy a house at a great price? So there's a number of different factors to look at. Your key people, as I said, are the mortgage officer and the realtor. And when it comes to realtors, you want to make sure that you're going to work with someone that you can trust, someone who has your best interest in mind and is going to work with you throughout the process, helping guide you to get to a successful transaction closing. That's very, very important. Let's take a look at this little presentation I put together just to share some information with you. And I'll be back to talk a little bit more about the chicken or the egg. It's not an easy decision when you're looking to sell your home or when you're looking to purchase a home. There are so many different things that have to come together, and it really is a big commitment. If you're a seller and you're looking to put your house on the market, you have to get into the mind frame that people are going to be coming to your house. Strangers. They're going to be coming into your home. They're going to be looking at your stuff. They're going to be tracking dirt into your kitchen. They're going to be poking around. Are you going to be comfortable with that? Realtors do their best when they list a home to schedule what's called showings or viewings in some area of the country. That's when a qualified buyer, who 9 out of 10 times, in fact most of the time, are working with a buyer representative who's a realtor. They've been pre-qualified by the bank so that they're searching for homes within the price range they can afford. It's no one that's just willy-nilly walking into your house to take a peek. These are individuals that are coming to your home that are looking to make a purchase decision. And you have to be in the mind frame to understand that. So, there are a number of different things you're going to do, both interior and exterior to your home, to put it in a position where the home appeals to the widest range of those buyers that are coming in to take a look at it. And again, this goes back to talking to the realtor in your initial consultation on the different things that you should do or may do or need to do when it comes to putting your house on the market. Your goal is, of course, is to sell the home. So you want to up the ante. You want to make sure that the odds are there that your home's going to get sold. First, you need to discuss where you're going to price it. That's really important because if you price too high, you're not going to get a lot of buyers looking at your home. And if you price too low, you may be leaving a lot of equity on the table. You'll know, usually within the first 30 days that you put your house on the market, how your house stands as far as other homes that are similar that are up for sale. Because you get to look at the activity of how many buyers have come to take a look at your home. Does price drive the sale? Well, yes it does. I mean, if you put your house on the market under what everybody else is selling for, you're probably going to get the most activity. But is that the wisest thing for you to do? Another decision that you have to make. You also have to make that decision and that commitment of scaling down. And what I mean by that is all your stuff. You have to be able to say, well, we're going to be moving, so let's start boxing some things up. Let's put some things in storage. Let's, thin things out. Let's stage the house maybe, and follow some of the staging guidelines to make the house appeal to people. Let's look at the repairs. Let's look at the condition. Let's do that example of walking into the house and seeing where our eyes fall and what attention is needed. If you have kids, you want to sit them down and you want to talk to them and tell the kids the house is going to go on the market. People are going to be coming in, so it's really important that you keep your rooms nice and straight and clean, that you make your beds and so on and so forth. There's a lot of effort, especially the effort of when a showing is scheduled and you need to leave the house. If you have animals, do you remove the animals? Do you cage the animals? What do you do? If you have multiple cars, do you leave the cars in the driveway? Do you park them in the street? Do you put them in the garage? Do you put them in a neighbor's house? What do you do? So just a lot of little decisions you need to make as the house is on the market or even before you're going to put the house on the market. When you're a buyer, you have a lot of preparatory work to do. As I said, you're going to work with a mortgage officer. This means you've got to make that commitment to start assembling paperwork. They're going to want paycheck stubs and they're going to want bank accounts and they're going to want all kinds of information from you, and that information has to stay up to date. So you want to make sure you have access to all of that so that when a mortgage officer says, we need this or we need that, you have it ready to provide them. You want to be proactive to make sure that the mortgage officer isn't chasing a piece of paperwork that may be needed in order to finalize putting together the paperwork to give you that mortgage that you need when you found the house you want to purchase. You also have to look at your schedule. It takes a lot to go out and look at houses. You know, a lot of buyers now will start their search by looking at homes on the internet, and that's fine. Some realtors are really great in marketing homes and putting pictures on the internet and making houses look really, really great. But you need to physically go out and look at the home. You need to have that feel of the space and time and, the feeling of being in the home, as I said, before you make that purchase decision. I've had a lot of buyers over the years say to me, well, I walk into a home, I love it, I want to buy the home, I make an offer, now the offer's accepted. Do I really get a chance to go back and look at the house thoroughly? I mean, we were only in the house 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever time you happen to be looking at the house. Well, yes, you do. Another decision. This is when you're going to hire a home inspector. And the wonderful thing about home inspectors is not only do they know their business and know all the codes and regulations and the ins and outs of a home, but it gives you a chance as a buyer to actually go to the home you're looking to buy and spend some serious time in that home with an expert. A home inspection could take 2 hours, 3 hours, maybe even more, depending on the size of the home. And the inspector goes through everything from top to bottom. This really lets you know what it is that you're purchasing and what you're getting yourself into. And I have cases where buyers have gotten to that stage and done an inspection and just uncovered things that have made them uncomfortable to move forward with the purchase of that particular property. Decisions, more decisions, and decisions on top of decisions. It's a lot of work. Realtors are there to help guide you through the whole process. So as you go step by step, they're going to advise you and they're going to counsel you to help you make a decision that's the best for you in your situation. Let's take a quick look at this little presentation, and I'll be back with a final thought on what comes first, the chicken or the egg. This is the part of the real estate show where I get an opportunity to just give my final thoughts on either the topic of the show, something that I'm involved in, or maybe just a comment on the industry as a whole. On tonight's final thought, I was thinking about the topic of this show, and that's coming to the decision as to whether or not you're going to buy a home or sell a home. And what are the different things you need to do in order to get there? It's a big decision because when you think about it, you're going to be moving forward with dealing with the largest asset you have. If you're a seller, it's your house. If you're a buyer, it's going to be the house. It's a big asset. You want to make sure that when you do go through that process, you work with a professional. It's just like anything, folks. I've compared the profession of real estate to many other trade professions that are out there. You have a medical issue, you go see a doctor. You have a legal issue, you go see a lawyer. When it comes to selling or buying the largest asset you have, you want to go to a professional, and that's a realtor. Realtors are trained in the real estate transaction. They do dozens of them per year. You may only do one or two in your lifetime. You need to have someone that's been down that path before, that can give you the advice, the counsel, the knowledge that you need in order to get through the real estate transaction and get to a successful closing. It's like anything. There are professionals that are out there that have taken the time to learn, to be educated, to get the experience in order to help others accomplish the things they want to accomplish. And when it comes to purchasing or selling a home, the realtor is the answer. What comes first, the chicken or the egg? Well, they go hand in hand. They go together. My name is Rick Naples. This is The Real Estate Show. I thank you very much for watching.